What is going on, everybody? Welcome to yet another gameplay stream. Really excited to be here. Just so everybody knows, we did just finish up our part 4 of the card hunt for Nicol Bolas Dragon God. Still didn't get there, unfortunately, but excited to keep that going. We're either going to keep looking for that Nicol Bolas or move over to a card in Kaldheim, excuse me, most likely Vorinclex. But I'm going to leave that up to our Discord community. If you're not already in the Discord community, check the links below. We'd really appreciate it. But without further ado, I'm not gonna fiddle fart around with some announcements. Let's go ahead and jump into the deck. This is a really fun one. This is my own version of this list. I don't know if this is the best configuration, but I built this as a way to try some of the new cards in Kaldheim and just see how it goes. This is not optimized, I don't think, but I do think there's some really interesting stuff that we got in Kaldheim that makes this deck very, very good. So let's kick things off with some of the new cards. Valki, God of Lies. Really interesting and very much, kind of a new favorite pet card of mine, I will say. It's a 2/1 for 2 on one side, and then it's, of course, Tibalt Cosmic Imposter on the other side. Now, in playtesting, I have not gotten to play the Tibalt side of this, although I think that would be awesome. But Valki is actually good on its own. It's a 2/1, like I said. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals their hand, or excuse me, each opponent. For each opponent, exile a card they revealed that way until Valki leaves the battlefield. Obviously, this is much more focused on a multiplayer format kind of thing, but this does work very well still. And then you can pay X, choose a creature card exiled with Valki with converted mana cost X, and this becomes a copy of it. So what you could do is actually steal some really good effects from the opponent's hand, which is pretty ridiculous, and especially if you get something that's like super low costed, but basically you get to just, take it over. It's really, really good. So I've enjoyed playing with him. Tibalt on the other side is a 5 loyalty, 7 mana planeswalker, quite a bit. As it enters the battlefield, you get an emblem with you may play cards exiled with Tibalt Cosmic Imposter. And you can spend mana, as though it were mana of any color to do so, which is also quite nice. You can pay, +2, exile the top card of each player's library. -3, exile target artifact or creature. And then -8, exile all cards from all graveyards, and then add 3 red mana. You could really do a lot with that, obviously. That works a lot better, I should say, in the slower matchups where you're really trying to hit home with a big heavy hitter later in the game. Valki works very, very well against the aggressive decks. You get to steal a card from the hand and put a blocker out there. They do not get the card back if Valki dies, so it's very nice in that regard. Another new card here, which I'm really stoked about, is Tergrid, God of Fright. This is a really interesting card. Again, a flip card, so we've got two sides to it. Tergrid is a 4/5 with Menace for 5. And then whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you can put that card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So essentially, because we are kind of heavy on that discard, we get to steal their stuff if we can get this going later in the game. That may not always work, but hopefully we can get something going there. On the other side, the Lantern, 3 and a black for a legendary artifact. Tap it, target player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. So we do have sort of a lower cost way of getting some discard going. And then pay 3 and a black and untap the Lantern. So if you get late in the game, you can do some damage with it pretty long term. One of the other 4, I believe, new cards we've got is Kardur's Vicious Return. I think this is an interesting one. You sack a creature when it comes in if you would like, and if you do, it deals 3 damage to any target. Kind of a removal spell. You sack one of your creatures and hopefully hit one of theirs. The second one, each player discards a card, and then the third one, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a 1/1 counter on it, and it gains haste until your next turn. So the hope there is we can get something like a Nighthawk Scavenger, get in for some damage, and really swing the game in a big way in our favor. The last one is actually a land. It's Immersturm Skullcairn. I don't know how to say that, I'm sorry. It does enter the battlefield tapped. It adds a black, but then you can pay 1 a black and 2 red, sack it, and it deals 3 damage to target player. That player discards a card. You can only activate that ability as a sorcery, but it does give you a bit of a mana sink late game to just kind of use up some of that if you need to. As far as lands go, we do have 24. We have Castle Locthwain here as a draw engine. We've got Bloodchief's Thirst, Shock as some removal, Agonizing Remorse, Kroxa as a pretty hefty discard package. We've got Elspeth's Nightmare, which also kind of deals with creatures and gives a little bit more discard. Murderous Rider and Nighthawk Scavenger. Murderous Rider obviously great at removing stuff and then just being a lifelinker. And then Nighthawk Scavenger kind of providing that lifelink in the air, along with some Death Touch. And then, of course, Liliana here as a way to kind of discard some cards, hopefully, and deal with some creatures. So the goal here is really to beat some of the early aggro decks. I've noticed, we'll go ahead and jump in here. I've noticed as I've just started, you know, kind of delving heavily into Kaldheim, what I'm seeing is quite a bit of people just playing mono red. They're just looking to get the easy wins, hopefully rank up pretty quickly, and I get it, that's kind of what it always is, but this deck is hopefully geared towards stopping some of that. It's obviously not going to be perfect, but I do think it has the legs to do so, so I'm really excited about that. This is the downside of this, and I felt when I initially made this deck, I did not have the temples in here, and I felt that was the right call initially because you really don't want to have things interplay tapped if you can help it. But what I've found is the mana got very tricky very quickly, surprisingly in a deck like this. And so I did decide to throw these in here. Not 100% sold on them because of hands like this, where we get kind of a slow start. So we'll see. I don't know, but welcome. Thank you guys for being here, and thank you guys for being a part of the card hunt as well. Hopefully, we can... I'm actually going to keep that. This is enchantment heavy. I want to be able to get rid of some of their stuff, their creatures in particular. But hopefully we can get that Nicol Bolas, or at least, you know, some kind of follow-up creature. Or follow-up card in later card hunts. Alright. Yeah, I'm just going to Temple again, and then Bloodchief's Thirst, to be honest. And I'm going to keep the land here. We do kind of want that. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. They do draw a couple cards here, but I'd rather them draw 2 cards than, say, 3 or 4 if we remove that later in the game. So, perfectly happy to do that. Okay. And again, just happy we kept that Bloodchief's Thirst, honestly, because this gives us just ways to kind of deal with their things. That's all we're looking to do. Against a deck like this, it's really crucial that we do not let them keep their creatures. That's really the biggest thing. Really wish we could play the Elspeth's Nightmare, excuse me. So we do have 2 options here. We could play Valki or Agonizing Remorse and just see what happens. I think that's probably a better play than just Bloodchief's Thirsting here. So I think we're going to do that. And I think we'll take this play here just because we know they're enchantment heavy. Let's go ahead and get rid of some stuff. Ooh, and I'm so glad I did. Getting rid of that Doom Foretold, just a really big swing in their favor if they get that off, and so I'd much rather get rid of that, make sure we're not running into it, and then hopefully we can deal with this Transcendent Envoy later. I mean, if they invest mana in Sentinel's Eyes or Mogus's Favor, that's fine, because again, we can just answer this with 1 mana, so we're getting very near the point where we're going to start doing a lot more damage than they're able to do. And so my hope is we can start swinging the game in our favor pretty quickly here. Garrett, what's up, buddy? How are you doing? Good to see you again. I did get your rare packaged up. Just a heads up. That will be on its way probably this evening. So really stoked for you. Thank you so much. I know technically Dawn, I think, got the subscription, but regardless, you ended up with the card. So I'm very happy about that. And this is great. We actually just get to Elspeth's Nightmare this if they don't do anything else to it. In worst case scenario, we can just, again, Bloodchief's Thirst and it's fine. What rare is it? Should I tell you? I guess I can tell you. First of all, I'm going to make you wait in suspense while we deal with this first. Hey, Omega. What's up, buddy? Refreshes in 7 days, so that's perfect for the next card hunt. I love it. So we are back? Yes, we are. Garrett, I believe you got the alternate. I picked 3 100% at random, so I didn't even really look at what they were. Yeah, we're just gonna kill that, I suppose. And they can't discard a card here, so this is just a free 3 damage. So I think you got Sarkhan alternate art. I'm not 100% sure. Everybody got. I know the 3 picks were Massacre Girl, Sarkhan alt art, and then Parhelion 2, which is not necessarily the most exciting lineup in the world, but it is pretty good, so I'm perfectly happy with that. All right, so we're in a weird place where we kind of just don't... I mean, I'm just going to play Murderous Rider out. It's kind of boring, but, like, it works. So yeah, thank you, Garrett, for being there. Thank you, Omega, also. You guys are both there. I hope you guys enjoy that style where we still get to give away other stuff, even if we don't get the big card that we're looking for. I just thought that was kind of a more fun thing to do. And hopefully just makes it a little more interesting for everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna play Valki. When you have that much advantage, it's wild how little you can, what little you can do. Yeah, I mean, genuinely, we are in that position where there's just very little we can do, and it's kind of frustrating. We kind of need cards to get into our graveyard, but I'd hate to waste these if I don't need to. We do get to pull cards out of the graveyard with these Agonizing Remorses, which is why... Oh, good, we won. Which is why I landed those versus any other discard spell. It gave us a little bit more flexibility, which I think is worth it. So, I don't know if I'm saying either anything, but do you know the WotC Content Creator Program? Omega, I do. Thank you, Garrett. If you don't mind, if you're going to be here, if you don't mind updating the score in chat, that'd be awesome. Just in case I forget. Omega, I do... and I've actually considered like trying to join it and that kind of thing. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, Garrett. I've actually reached out to a number of like like Card Kingdoms and those kinds of things. And Omega, you might be right, but for whatever reason, we have not had great luck or great success in getting like deals made with those kinds of groups. And I don't think that there's anything necessarily... That's not me bad talking those groups. I think they're great. And the Content Creator Program, I think, is a pretty good program, actually. But for whatever reason, it's not worked out for us. And so maybe we need to do something different. Maybe they just don't recognize, you know, we're not a big channel, so it's not like we've got a lot to go off of. But, you know, maybe we could. I don't know. Something to think about for sure. Lull Mage's Domination. Gain control of target creature with converted mana cost X. Whew. So this is the Steel Stuff deck. That's a little scary. Ooh, that's also scary. Okay. Interesting. So that doesn't actually give us anything to do. All right, so I'm gonna do this. Valki, huh? Yeah, let's do it. I run 2 Lull Mage Domination with the Rogues deck. Garrett, do you? Okay, so that might be the case, but this is definitely mill. I'm only saying that because a small Portuguese streamer has access to it. Omega, then honestly, there's probably a good chance that we could too. I just don't, I kind of like the independent side of things. Just for us, it kind of works pretty well, but it's worth looking into, I think. I just didn't, or I've not given it a huge consideration. So I can actually just go ahead and Kroxa, which I think is what I'm going to do. Let's do that. Still a Lovestruck Beast with an Embercleave on it, and they tilted. Ooh, Garrett. No, Omega, you're not out of line at all. Don't worry about that. No, you're totally fine. It's just not something that I've, like, majorly considered, if that makes sense. I would like to, I mean, keep in mind, and we talked about this the other stream, Omega, I think you were there. I very much want to continue growing the stream and, like, grow the channel and make this as good of a channel as I can make it. And so anything we can do would be amazing. So if that's going to help us, then absolutely, let's do it. Let's see how this works out. I don't really want to get milled to death. I'm kind of hoping they just counter this, to be honest. Then we just get to land a Nighthawk Scavenger. Yeah, let's just play that out. But no, Omega, you're totally fine. Not a worry. Just appreciate the consideration, honestly. So hopefully we can. Be great. As much as Ruin Crab really doesn't hurt us quite as much as some other as it would for other decks. It is still a problem for us long term, and that's why I went ahead and got rid of it. We had, you know, the Vicious Return could theoretically get rid of it, but given how counter heavy and bounce heavy a deck like this tends to be, I'm not really willing to push that. Well, I'm gonna steal the Soaring Thought Thief. Get that out of the hand, and then we're just gonna blow this guy up. So now they've got 3 very dead cards in hand, which is great for us. We have a clear path. If they get a land, they're guaranteed to play it, I think. Yeah, and there we go. We got the win. I like it. Doing pretty well so far with this discard deck. I like it. A friend of mine just texted me who is actually a different content creator. If you don't know Red Zone Gaming, that's my friend Justin. He lives in a completely different state. I met him because of Red Zone Gaming, and he's really, really awesome. If you don't know him, go check him out. I just recently, like literally today, found his like Twitter account, and so I just gave him a follow, which I feel a little bad about because I just never looked, but he's there. You should go check him out. He's a really good dude. I like him a lot. A family man at that. He has got, I believe, 2 kids. All right. So we keep this. We play this on red first, so that gives us shock as a option, and then we're really just kind of hoping to hit a 3rd land. If we do, that unlocks quite a number of possibilities for us. Thank you, by the way, Garrett, for the hype. I'm sorry, I did not recognize that. But here we just get to kill Mire Triton, which is kind of an easy. And I am going to go ahead and do it here. I know that's not the most exciting thing to shock, but I do think it's worth it. Agonizing Remorse is going to be at a very good premium here, I think, in this deck. I don't like In Search of Greatness. That's a frustrating card for us to deal with. We do have ways to deal with Finn. The Mirror Shield is also quite annoying. I'm going to get rid of the engine here. That could help you. Let's see. I know they give codes for single packs and things like gems for drafts. That could help you with the content and giveaways. But for now, let's just enjoy the gameplay. Omega, no, I thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. It's a great program. So I do plan to jump on that train if I can. So we will see. That's certainly a goal. All right. A shock is a shock. Yeah, Garrett, that's kind of my thought. I'm going to go ahead and play this. Chances are they're going to play a creature and then equip it up with this shield. And so we're really not going to get a good chance to get rid of anything. But they are stuck. They do not have green mana, which is great for us. It means we're going to be able to steal this Finn here. Or excuse me, no. It does mean we might be able to steal a card from their hand. But most often we're just going to be pushing off this Finn, which is great. And then exiling their graveyard in this kind of deck is obviously very, very powerful as well. So happy to do that. That's fine. Looks like they're not trying to equip up, which is kind of interesting. So I'm a little in to get the top. Can't break it though. Ooh. Yeah, you know what? Let's keep. And I'm just going to Bloodchief's Thirst here. Get rid of this. You play Knights, and I think they will be great at best of 1. Yeah, Knights is very good, Omega, so 100% with you. I do plan to, you know, play a number of different decks, so you will see a variety. Do not worry. All out. No, we didn't. It was box number 4, and we still have not found it, which is amazing to me. But hopefully we will be able to very soon. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, all out we didn't get there, but we will eventually. No worries. This Luris is relatively dead. They certainly can equip it up, but that's not really the biggest deal in the world for us. You love Rakdos either way? Yeah, Rakdos is just super fun. I'm gonna attack in. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna decline to sack. So what this means for us is if they don't get a green source and we end up making them discard a card, if it's a permanent of any kind, we actually get to do that. Oh, also you're straight. Oh, you're right. Thanks, Garrett. I will update that momentarily. All right, we're gonna discard a card. Let's throw Scavenger away. We're actually gonna be able to get that back, so that's fine. Take that action, so we just get to steal that now. We can't block, so let's go ahead and do this. A little worrisome, not gonna lie. And I'm just gonna go ahead and play this out. This is a little bit of a life linker for us, so I'm just hoping we can keep ourselves alive against this Lurrus. Let me go over to Stream Decker. Totally forgot. They didn't kill us yet. I'm gonna put that on the bottom. It's so good in Escape Rakdos. Yeah, it definitely is. All right, we get this back, which does give us a blocker, in particular one that can trade with this. Oh, wait. No, yeah, we can. All right. Make both of us discard to get this Fin out of there. And then we get it, which is kind of nice. Attack here, gain a little bit of life back, and then we've got a Death Toucher in the air. I like this deck, guys. I'll be honest. This is a fun one. Ooh, nice. Hey, they found their green. Oh, they found it, finally. Do they not understand that we have Death Touch? Oh, they just get to kill it right out, don't they? Oh, that's frustrating. Perfect. We're just gonna keep that on top. Yeah. Oh, without paying its mana cost. Ah, I see. Each opponent who can't loses 3, so let's do that. I don't particularly want to lose to that, but I don't think that's the worry. All right, let's just do that. If they want to block something here, they can. I guess they get to replay that, which is a bit frustrating, but we're kind of just in the camp of gaining some life and getting ourselves where we need to be. And there is a Lurrus Death Touch that seems so cool. Yeah, and this is, I mean, is a shining example of the deck, Omega. It's very good. Oh, they have to deal with this, though. I'm going to play the long game here and hope that we can do this. I might be incorrect in doing this, but we're going to try. Shock, huh? Let's view the battlefield. Shock is not good for us, really, here. Does mean we could get rid of the Fin, but I don't think that's worth it. Oh, that's a lot better. Yeah, okay, let's do this. Let's get rid of Fin. Each player discards a card. Unfortunately, this does mean that we're subject to the Lurrus here. Yeah, let's take that action. We gain just enough life to stay out of death range, though. This is a very close game. Mass Vandal must be one of the best common cards of recent sets. Yeah, Mass Vandal's very good. Whew, this is a close one. They're going to kill this here. That's fine. We're going to theoretically pull a card from the hand, although I really doubt it. Put that on the bottom. We definitely don't need a land here. Ugh. All right. Oh, it's another Lurrus. This is a very good, very, very good and close game. And I like that a lot, but I do think we're in the losing side now. So what do we do? Let's see. So we can do this and hope something, they're just gonna take it, that's fine. I mean, we gain a turn, I guess, right? Like, that is an option, but... Oh, nope, we're just dead now. Alright, whew, that was a close close game. That was really cool. All right, first of all, let's let's get a new deck name here. Rakdos Discard. All right. Sorry, I totally forgot to do this. Thank you also. Yes, that was a very close game. We will do a few more games, so don't worry. I just forgot to upload the stream decker, so thanks for reminding me. All right, export. Did it. Woo! All right. Submit. Oh no. Oh, it can't find certain cards. Oh, that's fine. All right, did it. That should be updated, hopefully. Let me know if it's not, if you don't mind. And then let's jump right in. Anti-hype, by the way, in the chat. We didn't get there, unfortunately. All right. Wow. You know, if this had one red source, this would be incredible, but I'm going to mulligan that. And this is better. It's not great necessarily, but it's definitely better. I'm going to put this back. Thank you, Garrett. And I'm going to lean on this because it is a tapped land. This is not being an instant speed spell, this Bloodchief's Thirst. We really don't have to leave up mana for anything. So it's great to get this tapped land out early, not have to worry about it, and then hopefully get to like an Elspeth Conqueror's Nightmare. Landing it on turn 3 is pretty crucial, especially if this is their starting play. I do worry about some of the stuff that they could have. Temple's a bit odd though. A lot of times we see Gruul decks out there, but playing Temples is not necessarily their forte. The reason being, obviously, they come into play tapped, and they tend to be aggro-centric decks. But hey, this is a case where apparently that's what they're trying to do. So let's Elspeth's Nightmare. Let's get this elemental out of here before we take too much damage. And hopefully we can wreck them with this Nightmare, and then combining that with something like Liliana can really do some damage. And we get, you know, to Bloodchief's Thirst, Elspeth, another Elspeth's Nightmare. We've got a lot of interaction to hopefully be able to deal with some of these creatures that they, I'm sure, have. So, feeling okay about it. Okay. Also, I've seen a lot of people misplay pretty heavily with this deck. Something to think about, it's not always correct to just immediately crack your... Yeah, let's get rid of that. It's not always correct to immediately crack your Fabled Passage, especially in this kind of deck. This is not the deck where you want to do that. I don't want them to have this, I'll be honest. This is kind of a frustrating card. Given that the Nightmare probably isn't going to hit anything else, I'm just going to go ahead and play this. The only thing that it could hit is the 1/1 off of the Lovestruck Beast. So I'm going to be mana efficient here and leave up 2 Bloodchief's Thirst for future turns versus, you know, leaving up 2 mana for nothing this turn. Doesn't seem worth it. Okay. This is fine because hopefully we can get something going or pull something out of the hand. Maybe not. All right. Oh, Agonizing Remorse lets us do it though, so that's fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and pick apart the hand. So now they are in basic top deck territory here. Fortunately, we can't kill that. So it's really not worth it to try. Next turn, we really just need a land. Double Nightmare is nasty. Yeah, Garrett, that could do just some major, major damage, to be honest. Ooh, man. Unfortunately, not getting very lucky here. We just don't have lands. For the record, we do have 24 in the deck. We curve out at 5. This Tergrid is our absolute highest card. And really, most of the power is at 3 and 4. And so I don't worry too much about the land count, but obviously here, it's a problem. So we got to find a way to deal with it. Oh, no. Yeah, it doesn't work. All right. Well, we're probably dead here. And unfortunately, that's just due to mana screw. We have every answer we could ever need. It's just we're not getting the right cards. Okay. That's a problem. Yeah, they're just wrecking us here. New follower, Dragon Rage 029. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate the follow, my friend. Good luck in the giveaway, and I certainly hope you'll stick around and enjoy the content. We're having fun with some Rakdos Discard today. Fortunately, just not getting there. Anti-hype in the chat. Sad. Yeah, Garrett. Also, just as a quick reminder to everybody, if you didn't already know, or if you haven't checked it out, our store link has these new lightning bolts in them. They are digital altars that I created. If you are interested in picking any up, you can get a playset of them, or you can just get singles. But really stoked about those. We did have a couple orders already, and so I have sent some of those out. Excuse me, and I really appreciate the support. It's really a pleasure. It's nice when you know people appreciate, you know, the work you put into something. Excuse me, in this case, just an altar. Obviously, we need lands here, but we have a scry land to help us with that. I really want to keep that, but we can't. And we've got a Kroxa, so I'm going to try this. We can't keep any non-land on top at this point, though. We really just have to... Wow. Let's go here. I'm actually going to Agonizing Remorse first. Wow. Exile that card. Very crucially, we do get to exile the card. Not worried about the Berserker. We can deal with that. Predator is scary. Claim is not, I'll be honest. It's really between the Predator and the Shade. Let's see really quick. Destroy. Oof. I'm gonna take the Shade. Because this exiles, I think it's worth it. This Predator is scary. For sure. Very scary. But I'm hoping that we'll be able to deal with it. Please a land. Oh, it's a tapped land, of course. Alright, let's go ahead and get Kroxa out. Just get a discard outlet going here. And now we're in the camp of, if we draw another land, we should be really well set up. But this Immersive Predator is certainly going to be a problem, so we'll do the best we can. So we'll see. Okay. Yeah, Claim's really not going to do a ton against us. You love that card. The Predator, is that what you're talking about, Omega? Because that Predator is amazing. This now has Death Touch. That's fine. I'm just going to kill it. Let's get that out of there. Obviously don't like this little Fireblade Charger, but we're not at risk of just dying thanks to it yet, so I'm not stressed about that. But here this Predator is coming down, and that is very, very scary. Here we do actually get to pull a Claim, which is something. It's not great, but it's something. And here's a tricky play. So we're going to play the Elspeth's Nightmare, excuse me. Try and kill this Charger. We'll see if they make the correct play. It looks like they do. The worry was that they would, or if they missed that and just sacrificed it, that was kind of great for us. But now we open they have opened themselves up to a removal spell. Now, obviously, they've pulled Gaderick here. So chances are they just play Gaderick. And that's scary too, but we can hopefully deal with this. Okay. Well, there's the land, which is very good for us. Gonna exile their graveyard here, which is kind of nice. Alright, so what is the play? Unfortunately, that does nothing. I think the play is to force this... I mean, we target this. They sack this in response, but we definitely target the Predator. There's an important lesson in why you target the Predator, by the way. If you don't, the Murderous Rider just fizzles. And that's not good enough, but here we just lose. Ugh, that was a rough one. Unfortunately, getting that tapped land kind of wrecked us a little bit, but it is what it is. That's kind of why I didn't really like the tapped lands in the first place, but, you know, we're here. We're doing the best we can. We will do probably 1 or 2 more games. I really like this deck, but unfortunately we're kind of getting a little unlucky in some of these. 2-3, that Predator is too good. Yeah, Garrett, in my Jund list, which I do plan to play at some point, either this weekend or next week, I run the Predator, and wow, is it great. In the right matchup, it's just backbreaking. There's so little that anybody can do about it that it's just frustrating as crap for people to deal with, which is funny. Until you're the one against it, naturally. So good, yeah. This is interesting. I mean, it's a very usable hand. This tapped land kind of sucks, so I'm really hoping we get not a tapped land off the top, but unfortunately not a land at all. We're gonna Agonizing Remorse first. There's a very real chance this just gets countered. And that's fine if it does. We burn a card in hand is the key here. Sure. And that's fine. Next turn, we've got a tapped land. Ooh. Oh, no. But we do have Elspeth's Nightmare here to potentially deal with at least one of these. Yeah, that's really bad. Worth noting, though, they do not have a counter. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Let's go ahead and get this out of there. Elspeth's Nightmare is bonkers good against this kind of deck where it gets to eat a crab for no reason, basically, just for free, and then it also peels a card from the hand. And then exiling their graveyard is also pretty relevant in certain cases. So regardless, we're just trying to stop the mill train from going quite so crazy. We do have mana in hand to Kroxa and leave up Shock, which is pretty good. And then we can also drop this and then be able to play Kroxa following up on the next turn. All right, just counter heavy stuff. I think we take the domination, actually. Let's play this. Let's play Kroxa and let's leave up Shock. Shock's really not great against this deck. I mean, that's just the reality of it, but, you know, it is what it is. We don't really have a better option at this point. There is a world where we can double shock something and just kind of kill it, but everything in this deck has like 3 toughness or higher, which is very frustrating. And so we'll do the best we can. They did get rid of an anti-cognition, which is quite nice. All right. We're going to exile their graveyard at the start of our turn. All right. What is going to be the best play here? So, I have this. So we can play Kroxa, which baits the counter. And then they just play out Soaring Thought Thief, is my guess. We could also play this, which actually gets around the counter. And then we also can have double shock. I'm going to try that. I feel like that's a potentially better play. We did just exile their entire graveyard, which makes Nighthawk Scavenger a little worse. Okay. Oh, excuse me. I misread that. That's okay. Well, I'd rather them still counter that than anything else. And then I'm going to double shock this. Hopefully this works and they don't have another counter. That is a worry. But that Ruin Crab just adds so much value to all of their lands that I don't feel comfortable leaving that on the field. This is frustrating. It's not milling as many cards, though. The reality is the likelihood of them ruin crabbing us. Is that how you say it? For a lot is very scary. All right, well, here we go. Curious to see what they do. Okay. That's interesting. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's very interesting. Given the length of this game, this probably will be our last one, just a heads up. Okay. So we really just have to hope they can't deal with Kroxa. And if they can, we're dead. No big deal. This Elspeth's Nightmare, though, again, hopefully going to do some damage here, and I'm super glad I killed that Ruin Crab now. Could have left up that for Xerath Sand, which is definitely a normal worry in this deck, but it's fine. Okay. Did not attack. I'm going to get this out. All this does is potentially allow us to attack with Kroxa. Which I will do. I'm a little worried about this Xerath Sand, though. If they can kill Tergrid somehow, that's bad. Kroxa is just another card. I love Rakdos. It's really my favorite combination. Omega, yeah. Rakdos is very good right now, in general. If they just have Unsummon, that would be frustrating. How much time do we have left? This is going to be our last game, Omega. We're going to end it there. All right. Yeah, that was what I was afraid of. So the problem here is now that we did that, they have a free attack with Xerath Sand. Xerath Sand is bad for us, obviously. And we've got like Lilianas and crap in there. All right. Liliana just kills Kroxa. How many cards? We've only got 21 cards left. Yep. They pulled Lily. I'm assuming they're just gonna... Oh, they're not. Well, that's different. I thought they were gonna make... or kill Kroxa, to be honest. I guess they get a misplay. Do you think so? Could be. If they get Kroxa, it's worse for you. Probably correct. So this is a weird play, but I don't know what the best play here is. So I get to replay Kroxa. That's the good part about this. Yeah, let's do this. I want to make them discard this card, which is why I'm doing that. Why did they... I think they're misplaying a lot. I mean, this is a tough decision, but they should have made the block first, and then... I mean, that just was correct. Okay, so what do we need to exile out of our graveyard so they can't get it? Definitely this. Probably a Kroxa. So the good news here is we actually get to exile stuff out of our graveyard so they can't use it. Yeah, Omega permanents. So this just means that the Xerath Sand doesn't do quite as much as they probably would like it to do. And we get this other card out of hand, so... Yeah, this is a weird... Oh, no. Tergrid. Okay. Well, they're going to -3. That makes sense. Gonna play another Teferi's Tutelage. You could make him discard with the land or not. With the land. Oh, yes. I could, yes. I don't really know what they get here. It gives 3. So that's 3 damage to the total. The problem is it also costs 4 to do. So Omega, while that is a very good play, it's also a very tricky play. Yeah. And that just solidifies the game, I think, right? So this is lifelink. Yeah, I think we're just done. I wish this had haste. All right, I'm going to go ahead and call it. They definitely get to kill us. Whew, that was a very interesting game. Guys, thank you so much. I know this wasn't the most attended stream and it was at a different time, but I really appreciate you guys being here. Omega and Garrett, thank you guys. I hope you certainly have a great rest of your Friday. We will do our best to stream this weekend, but keep in mind it is going to be a busier weekend for me, so I may not be able to get so many in. Regardless, we will be back next week. And of course, we do have the card hunt next week as well. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And have a great weekend if I don't hear from you until Monday. But I'll talk to you guys then.